We've got a couple of different mushrooms here. We've got some button mushrooms and some field mushrooms or Swiss browns. And I'll chop these up roughly, pop them into a pan. I'm going to serve this with penne, which is probably, out of all the short pastas, penne is probably my favourite short pasta. I love the shape that you can stick the fork into it, and it also, the shape means that the sauce is going to get inside the pasta. And it's got the little ribs on the outside, which means that the sauce will stick to the outside of the pasta. So it's fantastic for something like this. I think penne is probably the most transferable of all short pastas, although cassarecci is really good as well. But yeah, still, penne is my favourite. Okay, mushrooms roughly chopped. Pop them into my pan. That's almost all of my field mushrooms. Put on the heat. Finish off with my buttons. My buttons I'll probably just chop in half. I want this to be reasonably chunky. Last field mushroom. So I'm going to cook these off for quite a large amount of time, or a long time. The thing with a mushroom is it's like a sponge. It soaks up lots and lots and lots of water. So to get good mushroom flavour out of it, I've got to extract all of that water out. So I'm just left with the mushroom flavour. And a good way of doing that is with salt. Where salt goes, water follows. So if I put salt on the outside of these mushrooms, it means the water's going to run out of the mushroom, and then we can cook it off. So we're going to give that about 10 minutes of cooking time, and then we'll come back and check on it. Those mushrooms you see they've halved in volume. We've got some good colour on them. We've forced out all of that excess water. So there, I'm really happy with them. I'm gonna put my pasta in now. So I put my penne in, and to follow the penne, a really, really big amount of salt. So a big pinch of salt. The water should taste of the ocean whenever you're making pasta, because pasta is a dehydrated product. As it rehydrates, it takes in water. If it's taking in salted water, you're going to end up with seasoned pasta. That way, the pasta is awesome to eat just on its own. My kids eat pasta. If it's well-cooked pasta, it's seasoned pasta, they'll eat it on its own as a snack. Send it to school, a little bit of oil in a Ziploc bag, and they love it. Okay, pasta's cooking. That's got about 8 minutes. My mushrooms are done. Another pinch of my truffle salt to just ensure that truffle flavour. Some garlic, 1 clove of garlic, thinly sliced. Garlic into our pan with our mushrooms. Some onion jam, about a tablespoon of onion jam. You can make your own onion jam, or you can just buy some onion jam. Some thyme, some young thyme. Just put the knife through that roughly. Normally, onion and garlic is something that starts a dish, so it's a base of a dish. Instead of putting the onion and garlic in at the beginning, because I've got that caramelised onion, I've got all that flavour that I want, the sweetness from the onion. So that looks really good. A little bit of chicken stock, just to deglaze our pan. Only about 104, 120, 25 mils. Reduce that by half. You can always tell when you're cooking a dish whether it's going to be good about 5 minutes in. This is going to be a good one. The smell that you're getting already is brilliant. So I've got some mascarpone here, which is the last thing that's going to go in. Stir that in. This is just to help carry that flavour of the truffle and all the other flavours that we've got in there as well. Stir that in. Right, I just want to taste this sauce, make sure it's got enough salt, make sure I've got all the flavours that I want. The only thing that I could think it might need is a little bit of acid, so a little bit of lemon juice. No, doesn't need it. All right, take that off the heat, bring my pasta over. And then my pasta's gonna go straight into my sauce. I'm gonna finish with some more of our truffle salt. I'm gonna finish with some Parmesan cheese. All right, so my pasta can come straight from the pot. Don't have to worry about draining it. Taking some of that pasta water. Don't be afraid to take that pasta water. Okay. Mix all this together. Now the thickening agent, that starch that's on the outside of the pasta, it needs heat to activate that thickening component. I'm going to take that off the heat, put this back on the heat. Once that comes to the boil, it'll be ready to serve. All right, one more pinch of salt. Serving plate. You see how that's thickened up? Turn that off now. A little bit of Parmesan to finish. There we go. The way I find best to make truffle go a long way.